I'm deeply sorry, Mr. Bryan.
It's all right, Doctor. I already knew.
You have at least 9 months left, perhaps as much as 18.
The first doctor gave me from 1 to 2 years.
I hope he's right. What are you going to do?
Well, I have no family. Haven't taken a day off since law school. Guess I'll try to squeeze 30 years of living into 1 or 2.
You didn't hopeless, Mr. Bryan. Research is being done, and you'll be in good health until the last few weeks. So always let us know where you are.
Service station. My car broke down. Anything open?
Yeah, there's Harry's Garage down the road about half a mile. There's a phone. 2247.
Oh, thanks.
Right.
My fault. Took my eyes off the road.
How'd you make out?
They're sending a tow truck. I'll have time for a beer or 3.
Right.
Saturday night.
Where you from?
California, a little town called Almeria.
Almeria.
Where they drink beer on Saturday night at the Tumbleweed.
They got one there, too.
They got one everywhere. Time for the main event.
All right, come on, what? Come on, break it up. Break it up. Now, listen, if any more of this happens, I'm an 86, both of you. Now, come on, sit down before your beer gets warm. Come on, let's go, please. Come on, everybody dance. Yeah. Come on, everybody dance. Come on, let's go.
Well, what would they talk about on Sunday morning if they didn't lose a couple of teeth on Saturday night?
Shakespeare.
Ain't been here since last July.
And I'll bet it was one of your productions, wasn't it, Neddie?
You're right. It was beautiful, huh? $100 worth of tables and chairs. Pow! Kindling.
Hey, you look like you could use a breath of fresh air. Come on, let's go for a walk.
Oh, I'll be all right. Could I have something to drink, please?
Sure, honey. Grapefruit juice on the rocks coming up.
Come on, let's dance, huh?
Okay.
Excuse me.
1 double vodka, grapefruit juice.
Hey, that stuff's wet, friend.
You talking to me?
Well, you're the only one spilling things on me.
Do I know you, Pops?
Nope.
Then let's not give me any more conversation.
I'll make a deal. I don't give you any conversation. You don't spill your booze all over me. Okay?
Come on, take it easy, will you, Neddie? Come on, wait.
Who is this guy?
Will you please get him outside, George? Do me a favor. Take him outside. Come on, do what he says. George, take it easy, mister. Will you please get him outside, Neddie, please?
Come on.
Drinks around the house.
That's very good of you. Where I come from.
Where do you come from? They just put on a nice, slow, sweet one. We can dance, and you can tell me all about where you come from and where you're going. Okay?
Okay. Does your friend do that often?
Do what?
A one-punch samba?
Only when the moon is full. Oh, Neddie isn't a bad guy. In fact, he'll be quite nice when he grows up.
Do you think he'll make it in time for his Social Security?
Friend, he won't need it. You haven't told me yet.
What?
Where you come from?
California.
Really?
Yeah.
Always wanted to go to California.
Well, why don't you?
Oh, born here, I'll die here.
Well, it's a big country and a free one. You don't even need a passport to go to California.
I'll remember that. Just passing through? Or are you staying a while in Pine Grove?
Just as long as it takes Harry's garage to fix a fuel pump.
And then?
Due east.
Due east to what?
Whatever's there. Thanks. Maybe we'll do it again sometime, when they play a nice, slow, sweet one.
Fine. But not tonight. My friend just got back. He isn't much, but he is the one I came in with.
Well, thanks.
Thank you. I'll remember you. Where's Mary?
Outside with Neddie. She's his date, remember?
Blake is a thing of beauty tonight, like you are.
It's awfully dark here.
Oh, you're not frightened.
It's for you. The phone.
Please let me go! Neddie, let me go! Leave me alone! Oh!
Please, I just want to kiss you a little bit. Don't scream. Just keep it quiet, will you, please?
Hey, come on. Oh, gee, take it easy.
Mary? Mary? Are you all right?
Okay, Chief, I know you're strong.
All right, Neddie, I've had it. I'm taking you in.
What for?
I'm gonna book you for assault. Now, let's go.
Well, maybe it looked like that, but it wasn't.
We'll talk about it when we get to the station. Now, let's go. Come on, I didn't hurt the girl. I tried to kiss her and she ran.
I can tell your father all about it when we get into the station and I book you. Let's go.
There, you see? Look good as new. I don't feel new, I feel used. Honey, you knew what you were doing.
Here we are. Now, 1 teaspoon of this every 4 hours, and you'll be up and around in no time.
Guys. Hi, Chief. How's it going?
Well, you know, the usual Saturday night.
Say, Mary Ellison in here.
Yeah, she's over in the booth.
Thanks.
I'll be moving on now. Thanks for your hospitality.
And come see us again, huh?
Sure.
Mary, are you all right?
I guess so. I'm just so embarrassed.
Where's Neddie, Chief?
I sent him on home. Look, would you drop his car off later? I wouldn't let him drive.
It's nice to know there's a man around who thinks of Loomis as only a name with 6 letters.
Why'd you send him home, Chief?
He had too much to drink. A lot too much to drink. Would you see that Mary gets home, George? Yeah. Thank you.
Goodbye, Jim. Oh, I'd like to see Neddie's face right about now.
And it is the judgment of this coroner's jury that the death of the deceased, Edward Loomis, Jr., resulted from a broken neck caused by a blow from the hands of an unknown assailant.
Thank you. That concludes the findings. You have anything to add, Chief Holland?
No, sir.
Well, let me say this. One of our fine young men has been struck down in his prime. Mr. Loomis, on behalf of the court, I want to express my deepest sympathy for your profound loss. Court is adjourned.
Jim. Would you say the man who murdered my son lives here in Pine Grove?
It's a little early to say, Ed.
Would you say that practically everybody in Pine Grove lives off the Loomis Paper Company?
One way or another.
In other words, next payday, I could be handing my son's killer his weekly check. Right now, I pay his rent, buy his food. Aren't you even close to finding the man?
Ed, I'm following every lead there is. I'm looking for new ones all the time, but it's difficult without witnesses.
Tumbleweed on Saturday night seems to me there'd be plenty of witnesses.
None who actually saw what happened. Now, I'm working on it every minute, and we're going to find him, but it takes time.
Just find him, Jim.
Seems to be the trouble, officer.
May I see your license, please?
Jim?
Hello, Jim. Bryan, this is Joe Farrell. He's your lawyer.
What the county attorney means is, if you'd like me to be your lawyer, I'm available.
All right.
I'm going after a charge of second-degree murder.
Well, I'll have a comment on that after I talk to my client, which I would like to do right now.
Fine. You have 2 hours before the arraignment.
Cigarette?
Thanks.
I've been over your statement. Anything you want to add to it?
Only that I'd like to get this over with as soon as humanly possible.
In a hurry, huh?
Yep.
Well, I can't say as I blame you. But regular calendars haven't got much in common with court calendars, the crime rate being what it is.
I know.
But we'll do the best we can as fast as we can. Now, by the way, did you kill him?
I did not.
Not even by accident?
Not even by accident.
That'll help.
Spell your name right? Don't look surprised. Even killers get out on bail when the charge is second-degree murder. Can I have a beer? You told me to come back and see you. I said I would. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Pretty quiet. Not like the last time I was here. That was... But you remember that. You know, you got quite a memory.
What?
Well, I just went over the transcript of the coroner's hearing, and you said then you didn't know what time I left here. But this afternoon, you remembered exactly when I left. So, all of a sudden, you remember I left here at 1 o'clock. And Harry's garage remembered I got there at 1:45. It took me 45 minutes to take a 20-minute walk.
Are you calling me a liar?
That's just the word I was groping for. You're a liar. And Harry's garage is a liar. And the two of you could send me away for life.
You should have thought of that before you hit him.
Did you see me hit him? You didn't see me hit him, but you decided I did. Why?
A jury will decide what you did.
With your help. Now just tell me why. Why you suddenly remembered this afternoon that when I left here and all that noise and smoke and Watusi, your wrist alarm went off, you looked up at the sundial, the clock in the steeple struck 1. And at the coroner's hearing, nothing.
When you finish that beer, don't order another one.
Hi, killer. How does it feel being a public enemy?
Public?
Join us for a drink?
Wait a minute, Clarice.
Oh, I'm afraid George thinks you're guilty.
Want to join us? Join us.
Thanks.
Draw 3, Gus.
Call Bryan, George Mund. George is purchasing manager for the Loomis paper company. That's where Neddie Loomis worked, too. Only he was vice president. Worked his way up from the storeroom in only 7 months.
Oh, cut it out, Clarice. You're not being funny.
Neddie was also George's best friend.
Sorry about what happened.
Sure.
Now, look, I didn't kill your friend. I didn't even see him after I left here that night.
I don't want to talk about it. Do you mind?
All right. But will you talk about what's going on in this town?
What's going on?
A rather amazing phenomenon. 2 witnesses developed total recall overnight. Now, I'm trying to find out how that happened.
Oh, I forgot to mention Killer. I work for the Loomis Paper Company, too. Along with all my good friends and neighbors.
Clarice, I think we...
In case you didn't know, practically everybody who's anybody in Pine Grove works for the Loomis Paper Company. Edward Loomis Sr. is our employer.
Oh, I did know. But Gus here doesn't work for him, or Harry's garage.
True. But there's a rumor floating around...
Clarice, you'd better shut up.
There's a rumor floating around that Loomis threatened our chief of police. He said if Jim didn't find the man that killed Neddie, he was going to shut down the mill. He was going to close it, sell the equipment, and retire.
It's true. Ed Loomis made that statement right after the coroner's hearing.
Jim, we've known each other a lot of years. How come you didn't tell me about it?
I didn't tell anyone about it, Joe. I didn't want it to get around.
Well, it's gotten around, and it's spreading.
Well, certainly you can get this trial moved to another county on this basis.
You think Ed Loomis will admit to making the statement if I subpoena him?
He's an honest man. He'll tell the truth. You know him.
Sorry, Jim. Ed Loomis and I have never been very close. As a matter of fact, I've recently discovered I can't stomach the man.
Why? That mill of his out there loses money more years than it makes it. He could have retired to the Riviera 30 years ago if he'd wanted. But the only reason he keeps the mill open is he knows this town would die without it.
Sure, and the town appreciates it. The people let Ed know just how much they appreciate it every time he walks down the street. Now, the Riviera, well, that's on a much larger pond. Jim, even you are a little afraid of Ed Loomis.
Respecting a man is quite different than being a little afraid of him. You can stop your fretting. You're going to get your change of venue, even if I have to help you get it.
You don't think I did it?
The suspect is not a condemned man.
Cow yuck, like your mother used to make. You know, I never expected to find a place like this in a place like this.
We're even. I never expected you to invite me out to dinner.
Oh, well, you deserve a lot more. I tracked down your rumor, and you were right. Now, dinner's the least I could do.
You're right, but for the wrong reason. This is a celebration.
Oh? What are we celebrating?
My parole. I've been released from the Loomis Paper Company. Their word for it was discharged.
Why?
My former friend, the purchasing manager, turned me into the front office. Seems I've been saying some provocative things about the Loomis Company in a public gathering place.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. I've been working at that parlor since the day I left school. Maybe this is just the push I need.
For what?
To make me renounce my citizenship in Pine Grove.
For that you need a push? I would think bus fare would be enough.
I remember. No passports required. But right now I don't feel much like a bus ride. Not while you're stuck here. I don't think you ever killed anybody.
Well, that makes you unique and extraordinary. And it makes me very grateful.
For what? You can't put ketchup on compassion.
You don't have to. Compassion has a very sweet flavor.
We're sitting here talking about me. I want to know about you. What do you do when you're not driving east to whatever's there?
Did I say that? Well, right now, I'm taking a look at my country. I never really saw it before.
And after you've done that?
Oh, I don't know if I'll even be able to do that. Pine Grove may turn out to be what's there.
That just can't happen. I wish there was something I could do. Something to really help you.
Tell me more about your chief of police. Is he, really as saintly as everybody says?
I think so. He had a wonderful wife. She died 2 years ago. Apparently they had enough love going to last him forever. It was nice to see them together. He doesn't drink or chase women or... He's just a nice human being, Paul.
Well, if you say so, it must be true. Now, what about Mary Ellison? You were with her after she left Neddie that night.
Yes? Why?
Well, I ran into her at the mill today. And she was scared to death, wouldn't even talk to me. Then I tried calling her, and she hung up on me. Now, when somebody acts like that, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? You really want to help me?
Clarice, where did you ever get this car?
Don't be afraid.
Don't be such a rabbit. He's not going to hurt you.
No. Let her go.
Now, what do you want from me? I can't help you.
You can if you want to.
How?
By telling me why Mr. Loomis threatened to close down his mill.
Well, people there think there's just an excuse and that he wants to shut it down anyway.
Well, maybe that too. But he decided that people were keeping quiet about Neddie's death to avoid trouble. And I think he's right. But about the wrong people.
What do you mean?
That's what you're doing. Keeping quiet to avoid trouble. Oh, isn't that right, Mary?
I don't have anything to keep quiet about. And I thought we were friends.
If there's anything in that empty head of hers, I'll get it out. You go on. I may be here all night.
Well, in that case. Night.
Why should I talk to him? Because I spent 2 hours at it this morning, getting nowhere. I tell you, Jim, it's spooky. There's just no other word for it. It's just plain spooky.
That was the best date you could get?
A pretty good one. 3.5 months from now.
And he turned it down.
Flat.
Come in.
Thought you were on your way to Bolt County.
How did you know I was here?
I didn't. I came here to see Chief Holland.
You want me to stay?
Not if you're planning to be back for the hearing tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, see what you can do with him, Jim.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he tells me that you won't accept the change of venue. You can't wait 3.5 months.
Or maybe I won't have to. The Bolt County judge is off somewhere fishing. If he has time for that, maybe he has time for me.
But what if he doesn't?
I'll stand trial here.
Because you can be tried here in 2 weeks?
That's right.
To avoid losing 12 weeks, you're willing to risk losing 12 years. Why? What's your problem?
Well, you know what Napoleon said. The world was made in 6 days. You can ask me for anything but time.
Well, that was his problem. What's yours?
Well, I'm a gambler when time is involved. But I didn't come here to talk about me.
Have a seat.
You know, at the inquest, Mary Ellison forgot to mention something fascinating. She heard you putting Neddie Loomis under arrest.
Well, that's right, I did.
Why didn't you say so at the inquest?
Because I changed my mind. I decided he just had a little too much to drink and sent him on home.
On foot?
Yes.
Well, I heard that was a little out of character for Neddie. To walk meekly home.
Well, you're wrong. Wasn't the first time I'd set him home on foot. Mr. Bryan, let me give you some advice. Now, maybe you didn't kill Neddie. Regardless, you're going to get off. Insufficient evidence. If you're tried somewhere else. But if you insist on being tried in this town, you're going to lose your gamble. And you're going to lose it hard.
Well, that's the way it is with us gamblers, Chief. I'll see you at the hearing. Who is it?
Jim Holland.
Oh, you can't sleep either.
It's not surprising, is it, Chief?
Yes? No, not in your case, mister. Not in your case.
What does that mean?
It means you're crazy. Yeah, Joe Farrell said it. You're spooky. You don't act like a normal human being.
I'm sorry I don't have a drink to give you.
No. I don't mind if I do. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Here's to crime.
Oh, no, we don't drink to that.
I'm sorry. Bad joke. Here's to justice.
You really intend to stand trial in this town, don't you? Refuse the change of venue? Mister, let me tell you the kind of trial you'll get in this town. You get a trial like a coyote gives a chicken.
Now, we both know why you're drunk. Right, Chief?
We do.
It was an accident, of course, wasn't it?
Accident? Oh, you mean it was an accident that you killed a kid?
You're not that drunk. You killed him. And what did he do? Put up a fight? It was a little nothing compromise at first. Keep quiet and keep your job. I don't blame you for that.
I can live with whatever you do. You got no problem, except one you make. You talk about time, you don't know what time means. You make 3 months sound like 3 years.
It's more than that.
Huh?
3 months, maybe 20% of my life.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about time and what I have left. 20 months. Maybe more, maybe less.
20 months?
That's right.
I don't believe you.
It's a fact. It's a cold, hard medical fact. So I think I'll stay in Pine Grove. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe they're not all coyotes.
Medical fact? You don't look sick to me.
I don't feel sick either. That's why I fight for every second I got left.
You're trying to run a bluff. Well, it won't work, mister. You refuse that change of venue and you'll be digging your own grave. Be nobody's fault but yours. You got that? I'm not your keeper. That's what I came here to tell you. I'm not your keeper.
Mr. Farrell, so glad you were able to make it. I was afraid for a while that we might have to start without you.
Sorry, Your Honor.
All right, let's get on with it.
May I have a moment to confer with my client?
Yes.
No luck. He's got a nice full calendar waiting for him.
3.5 months. That's the earliest date?
Take it, Paul. You haven't got a chance here.
Mr. Farrell, Your Honor. What's going on here today? Mr. Farrell, will you tell your client...
Your Honor, for the moment, I'm representing myself. I believe I have that right.
Quiet. Mr. Bryan, do you have something to say to this court?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm withdrawing my request for a change of venue.
You wish to be tried in this court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Seems to me that Mr. Farrell's brief had sufficient grounds to warrant a change of venue.
I'm withdrawing that request, Your Honor.
Very well. At the request of the accused, Paul Bryan, motion for change of venue is withdrawn. Trial will therefore commence in this court on the date originally set at the arraignment. It's 2 weeks from today, the 14th at 10 a.m. Or would you now prefer more time, Mr. Bryan?
Your Honor, I'd like to ask the indulgence of the court.
In what way?
If the court please, I'd like to resubmit my request for a change of venue.
Indulgence is the right word, Mr. Bryan. I sincerely hope this is your final decision.
It is.
Good, because the one I'm about to make is going to be final. In this court, at least. Now, are you absolutely sure?
Absolutely.
Very well. Request to resubmit and the motion for change of venue are granted. Trial for the accused will be transferred to another jurisdiction and be held at a time and a place to be designated. Court is adjourned.
Your Honor.
What's on your mind, Jim?
I want to say something concerning this case. Something important.
The court is adjourned, and this case is no longer under its jurisdiction.
I killed Neddie Loomis.
Quiet. I advise you not to say any more. Not before you have benefit of counsel.
I want to say this now. Please.
Mr. Lassiter, have you any objections to continuing this case?
No objections, Your Honor.
And you, Mr. Bryan, since you are acting as your own counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Put him under oath.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, withholding nothing, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
James Holland.
Take the stand.
Before you make any statement under oath, I want to make sure that you're aware of your rights. You're not required to make any statement now or at any time that might tend to incriminate you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Jim, make your statement.
That night I put Neddie Loomis under arrest for assaulting Mary Ellison. He resisted me. Violently. So, when I couldn't stop him, I hit him. It was accidental. He shouldn't have died, but he did. I don't hold myself criminally responsible for his death, but I do hold myself criminally responsible for what has happened since. I thought that my place and my job in this town was secure. And then I realized suddenly that night I stood to lose everything I'd worked for all my life. That's all.
Jim, let me step down.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Bryan, the entire community owes you an apology. Mr. Prosecutor, do you want to move to drop the charges against Mr. Bryan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Motion is accepted. Mr. Loomis, is there anything you want to say to us?
Thank you, Your Honor, for suggesting it. Yes, I would like to say something.
I'm going to adjourn this court, and I hereby do so. What would you like to say?
Jim, maybe you were right to think what you did, that you couldn't, that your job wasn't secure. If that was true, it'll never be true again. Never again for anyone in this town. I promise that. I don't own this town. I never thought I did. You, young fella? What can I say?
You just said it. Thanks, Counselor. You can send my bill to our embassy in Stockholm. Chief, this town isn't so bad. I've always been right about you. Goodbye. Thanks.
Right. Last night, I accused you of running a bluff. You know what you said. Was I right?
Would you like to be?
Yes.
You were right. I was running a bluff.
What did I hear him say? He was running a bluff?
Said he was. I'm afraid he wasn't.
I'm so glad.
Thanks. Hey, you're all dressed up.
I took your advice. I'm leaving town.
Now I'm glad.
Only I need a lift.
Well, I'm going in the wrong direction for California.
I know. But all directions lead away from Pine Grove.
Let's take one.